What is going on, guys? It is Frugal NoodleHouse here, and we are back on Chaos Child, and I'm hoping to finish this quite soon, because I finally have something that I can write an in-depth video on, because I've been given, luckily, a review key for a certain game, but this is in the way. As soon as I'm done with this, I can bin this off. I can then concentrate on this video, but for now I need to finish this. So yes. Person of interest secured. Person's name is Takuru Miyashiro, 18 years old. He's a third year student at Hekio Academy. We have secured Takuru Miyashiro. So if you remember, we recreated, I think, Serika, I believe. This is a long time after. This is February, 3 months later. Morning at the Children's Welfare Facility. The Children's Welfare Facility. Albador. I can't believe I said welfare. You? I can do it on my own now. When Uki finished washing her face and came into the dining room, Yuto was already getting breakfast ready. I said I'd do it. No, you can sit down. She looked inside the kitchen and saw that Yuto had already done all of Uki's work for her. Fine, she thought. I'll do the cleanup myself. Then she sat in her chair without further complaint. Lately, Uki Lately, I can't talk. I don't know why I can't talk. Lately, Uki had learned to make a few dishes without resorting to the recipe scrapbook that Kurizu and Yui had made. Of course, her food didn't taste quite as good, but if nothing else, she wasn't trying difficult. Fuck. We're like a minute in, and I can't talk. But fuck. But if nothing else, she wasn't trying difficult recipes and burning the pan like she'd been doing right after she came back here. After a short wait, Yuto brought all the dishes to the table. Thanks. Okay, let's eat. Itadakimasu. Yuto could also make simple dishes himself now. It was his idea and he'd been working hard at it. 3 months after everything that had happened, with its owner Sakuma and Takuru, Kurizu and Yui gone, Albadorm itself was in danger. The place only survived because of Sakuma's salary, so that was all natural. That was what? Okay. But when Shinjo had told them it was safe to go back to Shibuya, they both insisted on coming back home to Albadorm. Shinjo insisted it was impossible, but surprisingly, it was Momose who helped them out. She called in a few favours, and Alba Clinic had become property of a completely normal private doctor, and some of the clinic's earnings were dedicated to keeping Albadorm alive. Of course, it wasn't a family like it was before. The doctor just worked at the clinic, he didn't manage the dorm. Instead, a nutritionist and nurse, both of whom were acquaintances of Momose's, would come by every day. But Uki and Yuto wanted to keep as much of their old lives as possible, so they wanted to make their own food. So on weekends and days when nutritionists couldn't come, the two of them eagerly went to the kitchen. It's good. I cut it a little too thick though. Only very recently had Yuto started to talk more. After what happened to Yui and Nono, and then what he'd been told about Sakuma and Takuru, he had become nothing but an empty shell. The one thing that saved him was that even then he'd stayed close to Uki. He'd wanted to be with someone. This is fucking dark. Like this is going from like, oh, this is dark and it's affecting all the adults too. Fuck, screw, these children must be miserable. Why are these children miserable all the time? Fuck's sake. What? This is like, it just baffles me how dark this is in comparison. Of course, the wounds in his heart hadn't healed. No, they probably never would. The loneliness and regrets would come back to haunt him again and again. Uki herself sometimes had trouble sleeping at night. When that happened, she would go to Yuto's room because he was afraid of being alone at night, she would say, and the two of them would endure the terror together. The two of them were brother and sister, inseparable now. Just like Nono and Takuru had been. Alright, about the proposal. Yeah? Uki's chopstick suddenly froze. I'm okay with it. What? She didn't expect that answer. She thought Yuto would refuse. It would be better to have someone use them, I think. They were thinking of accepting new members at Albadorm, which would mean they'd have to use Takuru's or Nono's room. She wanted to save them personally. Nono wasn't coming back, but she wanted to believe that Takuru might. But if Yuto had made his decision, as the older sister, she had to support him. You're right. She smiled the best she could, and started to eat more of her little brother's cooking. Ciao, it's Senna. Oh god, ciao, it's Senna. I can't remember her voice now. Fuck's sake, this has gone terribly. This has gone like downhill as I've continued this, and it's the first recording of the session. It's going well. It's going well. The door opened and Hinai Aramura walked into the newspaper club room. Oh, you guys go free period too, Hana? The owner of a room raised a hand in greeting without looking up, like she always did. Her mood is good today. She learned how to tell from the sounds on the keyboard. Aramura sat in her usual spot and took out the book she'd been reading, Teru Miyake's famous 6,000 Lives and Deaths. There'd been an awful lot of fuck, Jesus Christ. I can't talk. This is actually hell. I've never been like this when recording. This is a whole nother level. There'd been an awful lot of free periods lately, and during each one she would either come here and read a book or work on a novel as part of the literature club activities. Miyashiro, Kurisu and Ito were gone, so Kazuki was always here alone, and she almost never said anything. There was no need to worry about hearing her fucking Jesus Christ. There was no need to worry about hearing lies. It was the perfect place for her. After the incident, she spent several weeks in Akihabara before suddenly being allowed to go back to Shibuya. Allowed wasn't the right word. She'd been dragged back here. She hated it, but even if it meant another fight with her family, there was nothing else she could think of doing. There hadn't been any problems with the psychic since then, at least publicly. Sometimes Shinjo would call to check in on her, but nothing special was going on. But she never expected the case to end like it did. Oh. She saw an unfamiliar expression in the book, so she decided to copy it down into the notebook she kept in the newspaper club. Handwriting was the best way to do this stuff, she thought. There was no class in just typing everything onto a computer. She stood up and looked for it on the steel shelves against the wall, but it wasn't where she thought it would be. She reached out her hand towards the back of the shelf, and the papers that had been piled there fell off. Aramura and Kazuki froze when they saw one of them. It was a big map folded over many times. She didn't have to spread it out to know what it was. It was the one the newspaper club had put on the wall when they were going over the case. There was no need for it anymore. So the first thing Kazuki had done after she'd come back to this room was take it off the wall. Aramura had come in a few weeks later, but she hadn't said a word about it vanishing. No, it'd be more accurate that she wouldn't. You know, come to think of it, they say Seri reacted to the light a little. It's a sign she might wake up, they say. It was something that Shinjo had just told her on the phone. Kazuki turned around at her. What will you do? Her face seemed to say. Aramura frowned and scratched her head. Well, we'll do exactly what Miyashiro wanted, I guess. There was nothing else she could do. That was the promise she made with him. Kazuki nodded and looked somewhere else. Aramura followed her gaze. She was looking at the chairs where Miyashiro and Serika used to sit. For what it was worth, Aramura hadn't sat there in a single time since she started coming here. Then Ito is completely innocent? That was Momose's first question after hearing about what just happened at the hospital. Correct. He really was just being mind-controlled, it seemed. It's safe to assume he has no information on the committee. The only other possibilities are Noe and Miyashiro, but... Not the way things are looking, huh? Kunosato and Momose both sighed at the same time. Sakuma was dead. They'd gone over everything he owned as well as his body, but learned barely anything. She had found, with the help of very, very strange acquaintances in Akihabara, that Sakuma had indeed worked at the basement of the Tokyo General Hospital, but nothing else. All the data was deleted. There was no data left on Sakuma. She hated to admit it, but the committee was good at their work, and fast. Even the police didn't seem to know who he was. That night, 3 months ago, she still didn't know what had happened between Miyashiro, Inoue, and Sakuma then. But if what she was imagining was correct, especially in light of her last call with Miyashiro, there was a need to question what Serika had told her at Frisia. She talked a lot about the committee, but looking back, there was a good chance it was a lie used to gain Kunisato's cooperation. As proof, even after she'd taken the psychics out of Shibuya, nothing had happened. Her hacker acquaintance had checked his network and hadn't seen anything at all. With no real reason to stay in Akihabara anymore, she'd come back to Shibuya. But while she was gone, all the threads connected to Sakuma and to the committee were gone. Either she'd screwed up, or maybe Sakuma really was no one of importance at all, which meant they simply gave up on him when he was no longer useful. But there was a lot of equipment that had disappeared from that underground facility. Even if he was the one who moved it, someone else might be in charge of it now. If she could find out who that someone was. The other chance is... Mose looks at Kunosato and taps her own temples. In here, Chaos Child Syndrome. You're right. That was the one route she still had open to her. It was a piece of evidence she chose to use to get her revenge on the committee. That strange disease that had started showing up in certain victims of the earthquake. Fuck me, words are hard again. Her phone began to vibrate in her pocket. She saw the name on the phone and realised that it wasn't time for his usual check-in. That meant something had happened. What is it? Unoe has. Okay, back in February 2016 then. She slowly stepped into the hospital room. The room was clean, the air was pure. She nodded, satisfied with that. It was disappointing that no one had brought any flowers, but in light of his condition, there was no helping that. The curtain was closed, so she couldn't see him from there. She walked softly without sound. She approached the bed nervously. She put her hand on the curtain and slowly opened it. The person she was looking for was lying there. The invisible man. He could not be seen to anyone else, not even Serika. He was just a bed, basically. She sighed in relief, and then brought her face close to his as if giving a kiss to a loved one. She was close enough that her short hair fell on his face. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He's lost a little weight, but it was still the face of the boy she'd known for years. She opened the window. Fresh air blew into the room. The weather was great. It was the perfect day to go outside. Let's go, Taku. Breaking news. As of 9 AM this morning, the killer behind the Return of the New Generation Madness murders, Takuru Miyashiro, disappeared from a prison hospital. The bodies of several guards were found, evidently killed in a struggle. As for the reason the killer was being kept at the hospital, the police have stated that he was being examined as a Chaos Child Syndrome patient, and that there was no problem with the site's security. What? Wait, what? Who? What? Why is he killing? I thought he... What? Okay. Are you going to end without telling me? Yep, it's going to end without telling... Fucking... Ah! Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, I've got a feeling that that obviously wasn't the true ending. I think you have to play the rest of the endings to be able to get the true ending. Fuck's sake, that was just weird. Like, that was something. Like, I don't know what to say about that. That is actually probably one of the most mind-bending visual novels I think I've ever played. It's good though. It is good. I don't have a huge amount more to really say. If this is the end of the game, then it's the end of the game. So I'm going to go quiet for a while and let you listen to the music of the credits as I normally do. So yeah. I'll speak to you again after the credits are done. Well, it looks like that was definitely it. Fantastic. Fantastic. The first ending. Well, yeah, sure. Thank you guys for watching the series. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Going forwards, I think I'm going to change a lot of my content now towards other kinds of things. I don't know when that will be. I'll still upload like my VODs, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the Senran Kagura series. If you have any comments on what you would like me to do or cover, that would be fantastic, as it gives me an idea in terms of what you guys want to watch. So thank you all for watching so much. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy this, then let me know why. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you on whatever I decide to play next time. Bye-bye.